Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This might be a shorter video today, but I have three topics that are related. Well, all of them are related to the army, this way or the other, different armies from different countries. So let's start with the news that I came across yesterday's evening. And that is about Belarus and the president of Belarus, Lukashenko. And I have this here. The president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, signed a law on an important treaty. The law applies to Poland and the Czech Republic. Belarus withdrew from the provisions of the CFE treaty that concern Poland and the Czech Republic. This means that Minsk will no longer share information on Belarusian conventional weapons with Warsaw and Prague. Great place, by the way. So this is definitely the topic for conversation with Scott Ritter, but I will continue with this article. The Treaty on Conventional Armed Forces in Europe is a disarmament agreement. It was concluded in Paris in 1990, just at the end of the Cold War. What is the CFE Treaty? Originally, the parties to the agreement were 16 NATO countries and 6 countries of the now defunct Warsaw Pact. It is a mutual commitment to reduce conventional weapons in Europe. Let's be clear that conventional weapons include all types of weapons, such as tanks and artillery, with the exception of weapons of mass destruction. Countries that have exceeded their arms limits have pledged to destroy surplus weapons under international supervision. The common name of the treaty is CFE, which is an acronym for the Treaty on Conventional Armed Forces in Europe. There is more, so bear with me. This is an article from Polish portal. So some statements like this here, you will keep it in consideration, okay? Keep it in mind. This is from Polish portal. The link, as always, in the description box down below this video. In recent months, the Ministry of Defense of Belarus has repeatedly accused Poland of allegedly violating the CFE treaty. It is about increasing the number of people and wide-ranging modernization of the Polish army. It is worth noting that the authorities of our country, Poland, have made a similar move earlier. In March this year, the treaty provisions in relation to Belarus were suspended due to the fact that the act of aggression against Ukraine in 2022 was carried out not only to Russia but also by Belarus, because it allows Russian troops to use its territory and military potential to commit aggression against Ukraine. It has become impossible to cooperate with Belarus, reads the statement of the Prime Minister, still Morawiecki. So, in a nutshell, this might be the title of this video. Alexander Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, is withdrawing from this treaty, which means they won't be reporting anymore on what tanks, artillery, and other weapons Belarus has. This is how I understand this, being definitely not an expert in this. Now, if we stay on the topic of army, we have to definitely talk about Polish army. Just a side note, some of you haven't watched that video. If you're wondering what's in this building with this really cool tower, there is a university, academy, medical university, medical academies. If you want to become a doctor, I think it's still there. It used to be there. One of the best in Poland, actually. I think in Europe as well. very difficult school. My friend finished it 6 years, I think. Anyway, so now you know what's behind me. Now, Polish army. There was an interview yesterday on the radio, RMF-FM, RFM in English, RMF-FM, and the former head of the Ministry of National Defense, whose name is Tomasz Siemoniak, stated that Poland is not able to build an army of 300,000 soldiers, which Law and Justice, the ruling party, was striving for. Mariusz Błaszczak, you know, I don't have to introduce him anymore, the Minister of National Defense of Poland, the rocket disaster, mysterious rocket disaster, and for sure the balloon from Belarus, that one. So the current Minister of National Defense, Mariusz Błaszczak, has already reacted to the statement from that previous head of Ministry of National Defense. And now let's get into details. So Tomasz Siemoniak, the one that was interviewed, who is now the vice chairman of the Civic Platform, which Donald Tusk is the leader of, and former Minister of National Defense in the years of 2011 to 2015, stated on RMF-FM radio that Poland does not have the demographic potential to build a 300,000 strong army. The increase in the size of the army has been announced by many times in the recent months by Błaszczak. And here are the numbers, what Poland is actually capable of creating. So this guy said the optimal variant is a 150,000 strong professional army, so half of it, which will include 20 to 30,000 territorial defense, and also building a reserve of several 100,000. That's what he said. He added that Law and Justice announced the creation of 300,000 strong, since they announced the creation of this 300,000 strong professional army, a record number of people have left the army. Quoting now this man, he said, they were patched up with the hasty admissions, the admissions of civilian employees to the army. So here you have some facts. Many times on my channel, Andrzej Martianow, Scott Ritter, they talk about it. I think Andrzej especially. I think with Andrzej we had some conversations about this, and he was bringing up those numbers as well. So this is the reality. From 300,000 strong army that they prophesied over and over again, now it looks like Poland might be able to have 150,000, which probably will be even lower than that. One more article I have for you, and this is from TASS from yesterday, and this is some update about the level of destruction in Gaza, in Palestine. But before I give you this, since, as we all know, and I don't really want to be sarcastic here, because this is very, very difficult what's going on right now in that region. And when I look at those videos of those victims on both sides, okay, but I'm talking especially the ones that I come across from Palestine, I feel like, I don't know if I want to say that I feel guilty that I'm living such a good life, because we cannot think like this. Like, it's not the point that we will be all suffering so you can sympathize with other people. It's not, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It's just watching all of those videos makes you feel like, oh my goodness, if we complain about some ridiculous, insignificant little things and look at those people who are truly struggling and barely surviving without water and help there, and in constant fear of being bombarded, no homes, no future. I mean, so that's what I'm trying to express here, because I think we, in a way, become numb to a certain level of pain. And maybe this is our coping mechanism, how to go through those informations, news, realities that we are constantly being witnessing, right? Please leave in the comments down below if you understand what I'm trying to say here, but I do have a lot of those moments, especially in regards to this conflict here in the Middle East, in Israel and Palestine, how blessed all of us are. I hope all of you are safe and you are not in a threatening situations and you're healthy and you have place to live and sleep, which actually, you know, I don't have my own base, but I'm still blessed that I have place where I can sleep and be safe and, you know, take care of things until I move to the next place, which ultimately I will have my own place. But I know this is completely not related to the news, however, it's a human aspect of it. So let's start with this information from TASS. Number of Israeli injured in Hamas attacks exceeds 5,000. That was reported. But this one here really grabbed my attention. So one moment, I just have to see where's the beginning here. Gaza, Palestine, from TASS yesterday, at least 30% of all housing units in Gaza Strip destroyed or damaged. This is coming from the United Nations. Hospitals are on the brink and overcrowded with patients, many awaiting treatments. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs added 9,000 cancer patients lack adequate care because of the conditions in Gaza's only chemotherapy hospital. So they have one chemotherapy hospital. I mean, people still trying to have treatments, those who have cancer. This is just unbelievable. Hundreds of people, including children, have been trapped beneath the rubble amid airstrikes in Gaza. Rescue teams, primarily from the Palestinian Civil Defense, are struggling to carry out their mission amid continuous airstrikes, severe shortages of fuel to run vehicles and equipment, and with limited or no connection to mobile networks. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs stressed. Meanwhile, Gaza has now been under full electricity blackout for 10 days. In the West Bank, 14 Palestinians, I think this is just a report from yesterday, because we know the total is different, of course. So from yesterday, that was Friday, right? In the West Bank, 14 Palestinians have been killed in the past 24 hours. This brings the death toll of Palestinians killed by Israel forces and settlers since 7th of October to 79 people, 20 children. I'm not sure how to read those numbers, since we know in that hospital alone there were more than 500 victims, right? So it's very, very heartbreaking. Comes the time when you really don't know what to say anymore. You feel like all you can do is to pray and to keep your energy high, take care of yourself so you can be of service in whatever shape or form in your life. Because, of course, many of us, majority of us, are not going to go there and help. I mean, even those people who are equipped with humanitarian aid, right? They are not able to perform that due to the shortages, due to the lack of electricity. There is no water. It's really, I don't know what to say. It's really beyond human way of doing anything. I want to show you something, guys. I haven't seen this that much in Poland, especially lately. You see a lot of, you're asking me like it's very clean here. Yes, on overall it's clean, but then you see places like this when you have all those bottles and trash. And it wasn't like this before. I don't know if you saw it. I hope you did. I think you did. I think you do, yes. Okay, here we go. You see more and more of this. And I'm not trying to accuse any nationality here. or certain foreigners. However, there is a significant increase of those objects, especially broken objects laying around, but also the advertisements about drinking alcohol and things of that nature are becoming more and more popular, and people are coping doing this with the stress. That's how they get you. That's how evil gets you. This video is quite strange, I know, but we have to look at the human aspects of all of this, what's going on around us, and how we are coping with everything. And so, just as always, I remind you to join me on Locals, and that is the place if you feel like you want to contribute to my work in this way or the other. You can do it through becoming a supporter on Locals, becoming a member of my channel. You can purchase me a coffee that will be used for my trip to China. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all of you, not only those of you who are donating and supporting me, but to all of you who are watching, who are giving me your precious time and energy, being with me on this journey, life journey, because really all I care about is for all of us to find this peace inside of us that we can carry out into the world and create a better world for all of us. Lots of love, everyone. Remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye, guys.